Liebe LinkedIn-Community, wir sind wieder bei einem Lunch und Learn am Mittwoch. Jetzt haben wir, glaube ich, zweimal ausgesetzt, aber jetzt sind wir wieder zurück. Und heute machen wir es einmal ein bisschen anders. Der Moritz hat sich nicht verändert. Neben mir sitzt nicht der Moritz. Wir haben heute einen wundervollen Gast bei uns, die Elisabeth Miller. Und wie man aus dem schon vielleicht ableiten kann, werden wir jetzt auch gleich auf Englisch switchen. Wir machen heute das Lunch und Learn auf Englisch. So thank you very much, Elizabeth, that you came on camera. I'm really excited to have you. And today we're talking about live video, LinkedIn live sessions or live video. And Elizabeth is a seasoned expert in verbal branding, live videos, and presentation. You might have followed her already on LinkedIn, where she does a lot of content in regards of live videos. And so we're digging a little bit into this topic in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So how did you get into this topic, Elizabeth?
Hi, Roman. First of all, thanks for having me on your lunch session. I think it's a wonderful idea, just a quick snippet to connect, get those important juicy bits and interact together. And I'm excited to do it in English today. So yippee, thanks for having me. I appreciate that and being welcome to your community. And so to your question, how did I get started in that? Yeah, it's absolutely true. I love live videos, connecting, getting people to trigger that know, like, trust response, right? So we can start having important conversations that need to matter, that do matter, not need to matter, that do matter. But what I want to say about how I got started in it is I was doing international business development. Something you may not realize about me, or your listeners may not realize, is that I speak Mandarin Chinese, and I was doing international business, and I saw so many opportunities missed, deals falling apart just because people weren't speaking up, sharing their message, and connecting together to get to those yes moments. And so that's really my passion in all of this, is helping people share their story, speak up, build trust, and get to those yes moments. And live video is an excellent way to do that. Oh, I see Moritz is joining us after all. Hello. Thanks for the feedback about the quality.
Cool. That's really cool. That leads me actually right to the topic. So we're jumping right into it, connecting to people. And I mean, LinkedIn is a business platform after all, next to being a recruiting platform. So on a business platform, it's all about connecting people, building relationships, and so on. So when we're thinking about live videos, because that's what we're talking today, is how do you think live videos differ from other formats like text or images, or also pre-recorded videos or carousels that we see here more often?
Right. Yeah. This is a question I get a lot, and I love it. I was having a conversation with a client the other day about business, particularly B2B, and the importance of conversations and connections. And she said it's a lot like dating, or was it online dating, where you have to get out, you have to meet the people, you have to start these conversations, and some click instantly, some don't. And that's where I think live video can be really helpful, or video in general, and LinkedIn can be really helpful, because just like a dating app, people want to see pictures, people want to see videos, people want to get to know you and start those initial touches, contact points, before meeting, before making that investment of leaving your home, getting out, flying to the destination, however tricky it can be. But I love this question you have about breaking down the different formats, because for a while carousels were the buzzword, or articles, or all the different ways that LinkedIn offers. So let's go through that list you gave. I think you started with text, right? Starting with text or static images, photos. That's really popular on LinkedIn posts and maybe the most common that we see. And these are great, but they're not as interactive. Live video example, like right now, viewers can ask questions in real time and we can respond instantly. We can get that live interactivity that's just not possible in the comment section. And it creates this sense of deeper connection and also immediacy, which is just gold in the B2B world or in the human world. Plus, with pre-recorded videos, pre-recorded videos gives a lot of people that added security because videos are blowing up right now on LinkedIn. That new video feed that released in Europe is just blowing up, and people, especially professionals, love that editing and that, oops, I get to make all my mistakes and cut them out. There's a lot of security in that. And so that can be a great place to start if you have the budget and the ability to do that, the time to do that post-production editing. However, one loses, there's always a cost benefit analysis. You can feel more secure, but you lose that immediacy, that real time, that unfiltered connection that a live video can offer, which is just incomparable.
And what I would like to add here is also that with post production videos or pre-recorded videos, it's also from our own experience, you need to put in quite a bit of effort actually to make it a nice edited video. And so, what I have seen from our own work is if you're going live, it's the jumping over the hurdle may be a little bit big, or the hurdle may be a little bit bigger to jump over. But when you're live, it's online, it's done, and it's out in the
100%.
world. And but when you have it edited, then you fiddle around, and then it's never perfect enough, and then just time goes by, and 1 week, and then another week, and then 2 weeks have passed, and you still haven't published it. So that's what we experienced. So that's why we actually also from internally said we want to switch primarily to live video.
Yeah, that's a perfect thing to highlight. It's not only that post-production, but there's also a lot of pre-production. There's more focus on getting the hair exactly right. Okay, maybe not in your case, but in my case, uh,
Well,
oops. But no, absolutely. With a edited video, it's just a much higher expectation, not only from the people producing it, but also people viewing it, of perfection, which
yeah.
does not happen in the same way with a live event. A live event is the most efficient way to connect with your audience on LinkedIn, without a doubt. It's so much in person instantly. It's putting your name, your face, your brand front and center, unfiltered, and nothing else can compare. Nothing else can compare. But I think we missed something about the carousels you asked about. Should I circle back
Yeah, sure,
to
sure.
that? I don't want to derail our conversation because I love the direction it's going. But you spoke specifically about carousels and other formats, which many people lean on. They really lean on that. And they think, well, it's great because people click through and I'm getting those eyeballs there longer. And I would agree. It's great for delivering that structured content. If I have 7 tips or, the 13 ways of XYZ. But the same content, and this is what I recommend for my clients, this same content can be used in live videos and have them interact with one another. So just repurposing that same content. And then you get the benefit of not only having that structured content and the eyeballs going there for the visual, but you also have the live videos, which are just thriving on that spontaneity and authenticity. So it's a great way for, again, as I mentioned, building trust and showcasing thought leadership, because now those 17 points although I don't recommend 17 points, but those 7 points, let's say that it's a nice number, are associated directly with your name, your face, your voice, and your brand.
That's actually a good point. What you made is that they don't need to be exclusive to each other. They can be actually accompanying each other very well. So you can have a live video and accompanying a PDF download in a, for example, future post that is referencing the live video. So I think that's a good point, but it just I would say it serves different purposes, as you said. So one is more the structured information, and the other one more thriving on spontaneity and authenticity.
Yeah, this
Speaking about authenticity, why do you think it's so crucial in B2B video marketing? And maybe you have also an example of from your work and what you have seen out there, why it's so important.
Yes, absolutely. And this is specifically for your B2B audience. As I mentioned before, I was speaking with a client who is exactly in the B2B world. She's in the maritime business and, very B2B focused, working with a lot of different players. And she's the one who came up with this dating app analogy. And I believe a number of your audience members might have had moments in the dating app world where there are a lot of businesses out there. There are a lot of clients out there, or for some, there are very few. And it's important to really target exactly who you're speaking to. As my client has experienced, she's looking for very large budget clients, not the masses. It's very, very precise, very niche, very zero, like getting down micro focused on specific people. And this is where video is essential because we don't want to be when it's a 2 or 3 players, we don't want to be just another post, another carousel. We want to be personal. We want to get close, connected, and have trust that says yes to that $500,000 deal. Trust that says yes to that 3 million deal, right? Not the Coca-Cola that, I don't have a name, I don't have a face, I don't have trust, I just want a Coke right now. So we need to build up those relationships. And for an example, I have another example, not only with her, but also in the tech world, because I know you have some people more focused in the tech world, and they were struggling to build that credibility. Instead of, they tried videos, they put a lot of budget, a lot of time into that, and felt good about it because there was that hurdle, as we spoke about earlier, of that confidence level and wanting to look good, wanting to look professional and feel good about it. But I suggested that we do a live Q&A. We did a live Q&A with our CTO, and the audience loved it. They could see his genuine passion, deep knowledge, and that session, just that one session alone, generated more leads than any of their previous campaigns because it built that magic connection we're talking about, that I know you, I like you, I want to hear more from you. And as we increase those contact points, not only with live, but maybe a carousel that goes with it, and meeting at a convention or a live event, it increases those touch points that we need to get to that yes moment.
Yeah, I think that's really a good point. Specifically, this moment of relationship building, we are living more and more in an era of produced content. For example, from AI, which also serves its purpose. I don't want to diminish it. Yeah, I think it can be a very valuable asset. But when you're in the moment of building a relationship, you want to have a personal contact. And I think also live video can do that. As you said at the beginning, when you're interacting during a live call or during an FAQ, as you said, you can much more build this relationship to the person than just commenting on an AI produced asset.
Yeah, I think something that if we go back a few generations, like my grandfather was also a business person doing B2B business as well as B2C. He was kind of a middle person, and for him, it was always about having a conversation, meeting face to face, making that personal touch. So that meant traveling to different places and connecting with different people. In 2025, we no longer need to do that. Everyone is a video call away. Everyone is a live session away. And we can start making those connections and having that reach in a way that wasn't possible 2 generations ago. Speaking of which, I see someone joining us from the United States. Yes, welcome. So glad to have you here, Tim.
That's global. That's cool. Global community. I love
Yeah,
it. So, jumping to a little bit another subtopic. We also, since it was released a couple of weeks ago, the introduction of the video feature on the LinkedIn platform for Europe. I think it's was already in place for a couple of months in the US, but now it came to Europe, which basically imitates the Instagram TikTok feel. Video, and specifically short form video, is getting more and more important. We also tried out adding a short form video to our content strategy, and I have to say the reach and also the engagement in videos is massively different in a positive way. Then so you can really feel that currently LinkedIn is pushing video a lot. So apart from the authenticity part that you mentioned, it just from an algorithmic perspective, it's really a good investment for your
right.
content strategy to add video to your mix. That said, video can be intimidating. I mean, specifically when you're starting out, then live video, being in front of an audience, you have the camera pointing at you, there is this mic that you need to talk into. Uh, so I think that's how many people feel. So it's live video is intimidating, specifically when you start. So what practical tips would you give someone who is just starting out, realizes from the brain, yes, I need to do it, I want to do it, but the heart is a little bit saying, can I? So
Yeah.
what tips do you have in your pocket?
I hear this quite a lot. This is generally a number one concern, right up there with like tech readiness. Like, what tech stack do I need? What panic, panic, panic? So these two are kind of running parallel with big fears or big concerns or big excuses for not doing it yet, for waiting. And I love the way you pointed out the rollout of the videos, how LinkedIn as a social media platform, whether we love it or don't love it, they do reward specific behaviors at specific times. And as professionals, as business people, it behooves us, it's a good idea to get into that reward pathway. If it, absolutely aligned with our brand, with our business strategy, I'm not saying chase after every gold shiny object, but why not get those rewards? Why not tap in and be a first mover, especially when it generates business off the platform. So I'm a huge fan of that. But yeah, so comes up these big concerns like, I don't have a face for video. I don't have a voice for it. Like, and we often think of, Hollywood movie stars or even other people we know. Well, they can do it. They speak so well. They sound so great. And the truth is, everyone can do it. That's what I love about being alive today. We don't have to get through, the gatekeepers of the New York Times or the gatekeepers of the national news channel. We just have to push a button and say, I'm here to show up. I had a conversation with a woman the other day that asked me, like, why did you get braces and metal braces? Like Invisalign, don't you know about that? Especially in your line of work, you're putting your face out there all the time. Now, I'm asking your viewers, the people listening to this both live and replay, did my braces distract you? Do you care? Does it matter? Maybe you noticed them. Great, that's fine. But does that take away from the value I'm bringing to this conversation? And that's what I like to encourage people to focus on. Focus on the value you are bringing to the conversation, that you are sharing, that you are putting forward. And for me, that's what I encourage people to think of as a foundation. What is the value I'm bringing? What do people need to hear that they won't hear if I don't say it? So get that out there, get that as the foundation of the confidence, and I worry less about the braces, the funny little fuzzy hairs coming up, because especially in live video, no one expects Hollywood. No one is expecting a beautiful movie star here today. So I hope you're not disappointed if that's what you were expecting. Maybe live video isn't, LinkedIn isn't the place for you. Like, hop to the movie theater. So different spaces, the media can be the message here. So different spaces, different expectations. But how to start, right? That was your question, some tips. So one, set that foundation. Why am I doing this? What is the value that I'm bringing to the table? Focus on that message there. And that's where verbal branding comes in and becomes an important key piece of the puzzle. So, hey, Ava, great tip. Thank you. Thank you for joining us as well. And I believe she's joining us from Switzerland. Is that right? I believe. Yay, international. So that's one for sure. And then after that, I always encourage people to remove as many excuses as possible. So start with what you have. Start with what you have. That means start with the webcam you have. Start with the phone that you have. Most people don't realize it, but they have a Hollywood studio right here. Like great quality stuff that our grandparents couldn't even imagine right in their pockets. So start with that and, begin simple and improve with time. We don't need our first one to be the perfect and the best and the most essential. The most important thing, especially when we look at very established, awesome rock stars and influencers today, they all started small. They all
Yeah,
started small. So that's the best
absolutely.
thing.
And I would say it's totally okay to make mistakes. And the second thing that really is my experience throughout my live video and presentation career or my activity is, in general, the audience is very forgiving. So I've never had once the experience that somebody came up and said, "What were you thinking talking like that?" So it's really the vast majority. It's about the value you're bringing to the table, what actually is your content. And yes, you can definitely improve in your delivery, but it's not a breaking point in my experience.
And another thing I really like to highlight is when people are showing up, whether it's a in-person event at a conference and I'm standing at the podium or at the mic or I'm in a live video, if someone's already made the choice to show up, or when I've made the choice to show up for someone else, I actually want them to succeed. I want them to give me valuable material. I want to interact with them. That's why I'm there. So I'm not out looking to like, I'm waiting for them to fumble and act like an idiot. Like,
Yeah,
no. And even when that
absolutely.
happens, because it can happen, generally it's kind of, oh, that was sweet. Like, okay, now they're back and now they're getting back to the value. Now they're getting back to the core of what we all want. I
Yeah.
want to read off Tim's comment here. People show up to hear your message. It's the conversation that's most important. I also find that having people show up in the comments makes me keep wanting to show up. That's a great insight there. Yes, absolutely. So invite people to your lives. Great. Yeah, get people to show up, encourage people to get involved and have that interaction. That's what live is all about. That's actually the goal of the situation. He also says, I love that. Begin simple and improve with time. Yeah, it's absolutely a journey. As Roman already mentioned, making mistakes, it's part of the process. It's part of the learning. That's also part of the process of edited videos. We just don't see them because post-production takes them out, right? But yeah, it's absolutely part of the process. The most important thing is to begin. Another thing I want to mention, if we have time for it, is I really encourage people to have a structure. Decide beforehand what I want to talk about. What are my points? What is the specific value I want to bring? And make bullet point notes, have that written out, because things can happen. I can get distracted. My doorbell can ring, and my mom can call. I've had experience with all of these things, and it's really lovely that I can come back without having to think, where was I in the conversation? Um, as an in-person spontaneous conversation, I can come back to that structure that I've already built upon my foundation of that verbal branding of what is the value I'm bringing. I can fall easily back on that, find my place, and begin again with confidence. So I really recommend that also, not only for beginners, but for everyone, no matter where they are in their journey.
Okay, so now I realized the platform LinkedIn is supporting making LinkedIn live videos. I I pulled together everything. I have the confidence now doing it. I've structured my first talk, and I'm pretty confident about my content. So now I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me just a few tips on what my mini tech stack is, where I can start, and what are the first steps we cannot so what we can do to just do our first live
Just,
easy and for beginners, so to
yeah,
say.
yeah. Yes, and I want to is my style. I like to applaud, not only like giving this example, not only applaud what you've already done, but just be excited because you are really taking, or at least your persona here is really taking the exact pathway I recommend. So, getting that foundation, getting the confidence, know what you're going to talk about. Now it's time to start doing it, actually doing it and promoting it and getting people there, as Tim mentioned. One thing I want to mention specifically for beginners, if no one shows up, this is a common question. What do I do if no one comes? Because it's great to have this interactivity and the questions and where are you listening in from? And people get excited about that mass appeal. But if you're in the B2B world, if you have a small community, if you're starting out and for whatever reason no one shows up, I say, as the Austrians like to say, wurscht, let it go. It doesn't matter. You've got your content, go through it. Someone can come in later. And what I love about LinkedIn is every live session is automatically recorded and available on your profile, wherever you posted it, the business profile or the personal profile. Available for rewatch, available for you to link to, available for you to send to people that you meet at a conference 3 weeks later, be like, oh yeah, I did a session on that. Boom, there it is, right? This is absolutely a wonderful thing that I love about LinkedIn. So that's a little love note for LinkedIn for that one aspect feature. So how to get started, how to do the tech. As I mentioned before, the best thing when you're starting out is to remove excuses, to remove barriers. So start with what you know. If you're using Zoom, if you have a Zoom account or a Zoom Pro account, I think it is, you can use that to stream live because you do need third-party software. If you don't have that, you can use, actually, yeah, you can use uh, Restream as we are today. There's also StreamYard. There are quite a few platforms out there, and the number is growing. And I have a recommendation list that you can just send me a private message. I'll send that to you. And they're generally pretty user-friendly with tutorial videos available on YouTube. But so that's usually the biggest fear is what? I can't just press go live like I can on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. LinkedIn does make that tricky, and so third-party software is necessary. Today we're using Restream, so you can see, hi Restream. Um, yeah, but go with what you know. Many B2B places, they already have a video call software that they're using. So I recommend starting with that so you don't have to learn a new platform. The best thing is to begin because the first one is the most difficult. Once we get that finished, it gets a lot easier to take that second step. Other things, what kind of camera, what kind of mic, what kind of this tech upgrade? And that's where I want to circle back to what I said before of that start now and upgrade over time, improve over time. The first place I say is to start with what you already have. Start free. Don't make an investment, just begin. And then as you're taking those first steps, you realize, okay, this is awkward for me. I love this. I don't like this. And that helps make those next decisions a lot more clearer because you have data, you have experience to base those decisions on. The second area I say to upgrade, so first start free, don't upgrade. The first one is focus on the audio. Focus on the audio. I know a lot of people are watching videos, especially the new video reel and scrolling through without audio. So people say, but Elizabeth, no one hears the audio. They are reading the subtitles, and that is accurate only when your audio is clear. And people will listen to podcasts, audio things without video, but people don't watch a talking head video without audio. It just doesn't happen unless there are those clear subtitles there. So really focus on getting a high quality audio. And there are a lot of microphones and things there that you can make a small investment and get enormous results. So first is definitely free audio. Then I would say get a better camera. It's nice to have that clarity and ease because with choppy and distractions, it's not helpful. People like to be able to see clearly without thinking of, oh, it's awkward because we're used to Hollywood, right? There is that, which also brings me to the fourth point, connection. Make sure you have a great connectivity. Go to a place where you have great connectivity. One of the benefits of a live video is broadcasting live on site. If you have a manufacturing site, if you have a reveal of a new product, if you're going to a conference, this is some of the beauty of having a live session, and it really creates this intimate experience, this excitement of the now being live broadcasting, which as humans we're used to from news broadcasting. So it's really fun. It's really exciting to be live on site. But connectivity becomes a important topic and investing in good connectivity. There are a lot of free tools online that one can use to check your connectivity and make good decisions there. And then I always recommend, oh, do you want to make a comment?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
And then I always recommend getting more screen space. So that can be a second device where you're checking. If you're already using the free stuff, most people have more than one device so they can check, am I live? Is it working well? Or get a buddy. Is it live? Is it working well? But also just get a bigger screen so you can have more things open and just a little bit more breathing room. I find many of my clients, and I also find it more comfortable to have more space for that.
These are really fantastic recommendations. Thank you very much. So I would say, we are already 34 minutes into it. Summarizing these tips, if you want to go live tomorrow, then you basically need a StreamYard or Restream account, your phone that everyone has in the pocket, and probably a headphones like those I'm having here, and that's it. And then you can go live.
And you can use sunlight. I mean, in Austria right now, it's kind of hard to find the sunlight in Vienna, but yes, use natural lighting. Just start simple and improve over time. Absolutely.
Wonderful advice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your expertise with us today. It was great having you here. This was it, our lunch and learn. So if anyone is inspired by it and wants to directly contact you, how can they do it?
So absolutely. Since we're already on the LinkedIn platform, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a DM. Let's start this conversation. I'm actually offering a number of review sessions, audits right now. So I have some spaces left in December if you want an audit. How LinkedIn Live ready are you? What things, small steps can you take to be ready tomorrow? Talk to me about that. Let's talk. Let's get you primed and ready to go, because how wonderful would it be to have your first live, your first session you feel good about in December before 2025 even begins?
That's an awesome advice. And the whole LinkedIn community, if you are having questions after the live and you're viewing the replay, then please put it in the comment. We try to answer all the questions that are there as fast as possible. And so with this, I want to close this session. Thank you very much, and we see you next time.
Yeah, thank you, Roman, and thank you everyone who's been here with us. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you. Bye bye.